Most of us grew up hearing that vegetables can never harm us, that the more greens we eat, the healthier we'll be. But here's something most people over 60 don't know. Some of those same vegetables can actually raise your risk of stroke, especially when combined with the medications many seniors take daily. I know that sounds hard to believe, but it's true, and it's catching doctors' attention everywhere. These are foods that seem perfectly safe, yet inside your body, they can change how your blood flows, how your heart beats, and even how your medicine works. If you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, this information could be life-changing. Stay with me till the end, because the number one vegetable on this list might already be in your fridge, and it's not one you'd ever expect. 8. Tomatoes, everyone's kitchen staple. They're in soups, sauces, salads, even your morning juice. But if you're on blood pressure medication, too many tomatoes can quietly overload your system with potassium. For younger bodies, that's fine, but for older adults taking ACE inhibitors or ARBs, it can lead to irregular heart rhythms or even muscle weakness. The trick isn't to cut tomatoes out entirely. They're still packed with antioxidants, but to watch your portions and avoid overdoing tomato juice or puree. A little moderation keeps the heart strong without risking dangerous potassium spikes. 7. Corn. It looks harmless, right? Sweet, crunchy, and comforting. But here's what most people don't realize. Corn acts like sugar inside your body. It digests fast, sending your blood sugar soaring. If you're over 60, and especially if you have diabetes or prediabetes, that spike can quietly damage your blood vessels and increase stroke risk over time. The danger isn't in an occasional serving, it's in eating it often and pairing it with other starchy foods like rice or bread. That's when the sugar overload hits hardest. If you love corn, keep it as a side, not the main dish. Pair it with lean protein or fiber-rich veggies to slow down absorption and protect your arteries. Balance, not restriction, is the key to staying healthy after 60. 6. Raw carrots. They seem like the perfect healthy snack, right? Crunchy, colorful, and packed with vitamin A, but here's the catch. Raw carrots are naturally high in sugars, and when eaten often, especially by people managing diabetes or insulin resistance, they can quietly cause blood sugar spikes. That constant sugar rush wears out your blood vessels over time, increasing the chance of a stroke. Cooking carrots lightly changes how your body processes them, lowering their glycemic impact and making their nutrients easier to absorb. The real trick is in pairing them smartly. Add a bit of healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado, to slow down the sugar release. You still get all the benefits of carrots, from better eyesight to stronger immunity, without putting your blood vessels under pressure. You think you're snacking healthy, but your blood sugar might tell a different story. 5. Lettuce. Now, let's talk about lettuce, because not all greens are created equal. Romaine and darker leafy lettuces are full of vitamin K, which sounds healthy, but for people taking blood thinners like warfarin, that same vitamin can actually cancel out your medication. The result? Your blood becomes thicker, and the risk of clots and strokes goes up. If you're on heart medication, the key isn't to stop eating lettuce, but to keep your intake consistent every day. Sudden changes confuse your system and your medication levels. So before you switch to a new salad routine, talk to your doctor. It's more serious than most people think. 4. Broccoli, the veggie we all call a superfood, and for good reason. It fights inflammation, supports the immune system, and even lowers cancer risk. But there's one detail many over 60 adults overlook. Broccoli is also rich in vitamin K, the same nutrient that affects blood clotting. When eaten in uneven amounts, one day a small serving, the next a big plate, it can throw your medication balance off and make your blood thicker than intended. The danger isn't in broccoli itself, but in inconsistency. Your body, especially when on blood thinners, needs steady levels. So, instead of cutting broccoli out, keep it regular, same amount, same pattern. Because it's not what you eat once that causes trouble, it's what you eat unevenly that creates silent risks. 3. Spinach. Everyone calls it a superfood, and for good reason. It's rich in iron, folate, and antioxidants that protect your heart and brain. But if you're over 60 and taking blood thinners like warfarin or Coumadin, too much spinach can actually make your blood thicker than it should be. The high vitamin K content interferes with your medication, preventing it from keeping your blood flowing smoothly. Over time, that imbalance can quietly lead to clot formation and increase your stroke risk. The fix isn't cutting spinach out, it's keeping your intake consistent. If you usually eat a cup a day, stick to that. Don't switch between green smoothies one day and none the next. Your body and medication rely on balance. Spinach remains healthy, but at this stage of life, how you eat it matters as much as what you eat. 2. Garlic and onions. They're flavor powerhouses and natural heart protectors. But when combined with prescription blood thinners, their natural blood thinning effect can go too far. You might notice easy bruising, frequent nosebleeds, or in serious cases, internal bleeding. The biggest issue comes from concentrated forms like garlic pills, oils, or extracts, which multiply the active compounds in ways your body can't handle safely alongside medication. Fresh garlic and onions in food are fine in normal amounts. They help lower cholesterol and blood pressure, but mega doses aren't safer just because they're natural. The truth is, the dose makes the poison. Moderation keeps their benefits without turning them into a hidden danger. 1. Asparagus often flies under the radar, but it deserves attention. It's rich in potassium and folate, nutrients vital for heart and brain health. Yet if you're on diuretics or blood pressure medications, eating too much asparagus can throw off your body's electrolyte balance. Excess potassium can slow your heartbeat or make it irregular, especially in older adults with slower kidney function. You might feel dizzy, fatigued, or short of breath without realizing food is the culprit. That doesn't mean you should quit asparagus. It's still one of the best vegetables for digestion and immunity. The key is moderation. A few spears a few times a week, not daily overload. It's one of those cases where healthy becomes harmful, simply because the body changes with age. Don't panic. Your vegetables aren't the enemy. They've kept you healthy for decades, and they still can. But after 60, your body plays by new rules. Your metabolism slows, your medications increase, and your tolerance for certain nutrients changes. That's why balance matters more than ever. These foods, spinach, broccoli, garlic, tomatoes, corn, and the rest, don't need to disappear from your plate. They just need a little more respect and awareness. The smartest move you can make is to keep your intake consistent. If you're on blood thinners, stay steady with vitamin K-rich greens. If you're on blood pressure or diabetes medication, watch your potassium and sugar levels. And never overload on raw or supplemental forms, no matter how natural they sound. You've spent a lifetime building healthy habits, and this stage isn't about giving them up, it's about fine-tuning them. That way, your favorite foods keep protecting your heart instead of hurting it. So, if this opened your eyes, share it with someone you care about, because sometimes, the smallest food choices can make the biggest difference. And don't forget to subscribe, because we've got more science-backed health tips coming that can literally save a life. Every week, we break down the hidden risks inside everyday foods, the things no one warns you about. One missed video could mean missing a piece of advice that keeps you out of the hospital. Subscribe now, because your health doesn't wait. And if you're still not sure, tell me in the comments why. Let's talk it out. Maybe you're skeptical, maybe you've had a different experience. Your story might help someone else think twice before ignoring a warning that could save their life. If you already subscribe, you're part of a community that looks out for each other's health. And if you haven't yet, this is your moment to join. Click that button before you forget. It might be the smallest action you take today, but it could have the biggest impact on your tomorrow.